And this one looks like a really fun card game where players are going to be using cards to build various sandwiches. There's going to be a bunch of different order cards that players are going to be able to fulfill, and you win the game if you're able to complete a certain amount of orders, but you lose the game if you ever run out of actions, and you only have 5 action points in this game. But the nice thing about those actions is that they do get reset anytime that you complete an order. The game's going to be set up with a whole bunch of different ingredient cards put out on display, but you only have a very limited number of each ingredient. Of course, the goal here is to use those ingredients to complete the various orders, and in order to do that, you're going to be spending an action token in order to choose one of those ingredients and then taking as many as you want into your prep area. In other words, this means that if you were to take the bread ingredient, you could actually take as many breads as you want from that stack and then start as many sandwiches as you want. This means that you could actually have multiple sandwiches on the go at once. And you might now be asking, why don't you just start all the sandwiches at once and fulfill these orders as quickly as possible? And the answer to that is because of the limited number of ingredients. You are pushing your luck the more sandwiches that you start because you're going to have less ingredients to divvy up between those sandwiches. Some of these orders are really big and will take multiple actions in order to complete, which means that you're essentially locking up all those ingredients in that sandwich until that order is completed. And just to make things more difficult, when you do complete a sandwich, you don't just get all those ingredients back into the supply. Instead, that sandwich is going to go into the pantry, and with every sandwich you complete, you'll be able to choose one ingredient from the pantry to return to the supply. And of course, that means you're going to be more efficient if you have more of the same ingredients within the pantry at one time, but you are pushing your luck whenever you're doing that. Luckily, there are some other uses for your action points, and one of those uses is to restock any one ingredient from the pantry, so you can just use an action point in order to do that. But like I said, if you ever run out of action points, you lose the game. So you'll just want to be as efficient as possible when you do use these actions, and you'll want to do your best to make sure that you don't have any action points left when you do complete a sandwich. And you'll especially want to pay attention to the ingredients that you have left if you're playing with 2 players, because you're both going to be drawing from the same supply. And if you are able to complete those orders before either of you run out of action points, then you win the game. And if you want to check this one out, I do have links to the campaign in the description below.